Hello, my name is Rich Howard, owner of Architectural Builder Supply. This video is to bring you a closer look at the Sargent. This is their part number 60-34, as you can see from the box, or 6034 in a 32D finish. This is a rim cylinder. This is a typical common rim cylinder, except that it's for Sargent, large format interchangeable core, LFIC. Is what this would be. Going to include a small little plastic disposable turn to actuate the hardware to make sure that your installation is working. This rim cylinder is going into a Sargent's sister company by the name of Rockwood, is manufacturing some locking door bolts, DBU, door bolts up. So a set of ladder poles back to back that are 4 foot long, that are going to go from about the mid part of the door. I don't recall the height. I think the door is 8 foot. So about halfway down, all the way up to the top of the door. It's going to be a key cylinder on the outside, a thumb turn on the inside. And Rockwood can do lots of things when it comes to cylinders. Rim cylinder by others is one of those things. As long as you have a horizontal oriented tailpiece, rim cylinder by others they can do. Well, this client called, I need the locking door pulls, but got to be able to install the Sargent, large format interchangeable core. So, got it. Great. Let's get a cylinder. Let's send it to Rockwood. They're going to install it. It's a done deal. And this video is to show you this simple rim cylinder. Now, the world of Sargent, if you're not familiar with their hardware catalog, but you're familiar with Sargent, it is quite an intimidating catalog, to say the absolute least. And that's probably because Sargent's been in business for maybe 150 years. They have decades of evolution. Their catalog is incredibly comprehensive when it comes to exit devices, lock sets, door closers, things that, hardware that can be turned into derivatives countless times. As a result of Sargent being able to offer so many options, their catalog is therefore correspondingly a bit intimidating. And, they run on a prefix code. So it's a 34 cylinder, right? Well, the 60 means that it's going to be large format interchangeable core is what that is. So this is going to include a cylinder collar. Okay. Spring-loaded cylinder collar. Be able to get that tucked all the way down. Let's do a couple of measurements here. When we have it pinched all the way down to the back of the cylinder, just for the sake of it, it's about 1 1/8 inches. Okay. The cylinder collar height itself, about 1/4 inch. That head of that cylinder is going to be able to sit basically flush inside of that cylinder collar. Since we're throwing the tape measure around, outside diameter, about 1 11/16 inches, I would say. Length of the body alone, let's check that again. About 1 1/8 inches, I said. Nope, oh, with the collar it was, forgive me. Underside of the head of the cylinder to the back is about 1 1/4 inches. From the back of the body to the end of the tailpiece, looks like it's about 2 7/16 inches. Typical rim cylinder that is oriented in a horizontal fashion. Okay, which is typical for rim cylinders. Some rim cylinders you can turn the tailpiece vertical. I like the tailpiece vertical in those instances, in some instances, because when you're trying to put the rim cylinder through the exit device trim, through the door into the small cross hub, that tailpiece is hanging low, so it's hard to get that in there. When I hang it vertical, it's easier to get it in there because vertical or horizontal orientation doesn't matter in some instances, but in others like this it does. This will include, of course, the mounting plate and the 2 breakaway screws. The length of these screws, along with that 1 1/4 inch or so length of the cylinder, are going to allow you to get this installed definitely down to a door that's going to be, 3.5 inch thick, meaning you're going to need to cut these screws down is the bottom line, because you'll be able to install it in such a thick door because of the length, not only of the body, minus the ring, plus the length of the tailpiece, the length of the screws. Holes for rim cylinders are generally about 1.25 inches diameter. Generally. Might need this one to, yeah, I'd say 1.25 inches would be fine on this as well. I don't see any trouble with that. Maybe 1 5/16 inches. Obviously follow the template for what you're installing. Let's switch to the screen view where we can take a closer look at the product catalog. So what we're dealing with here is our page to the manufacturer's part of the catalog is here. Manufacturers, and then you can search for Sargent. You can open up the manufacturer's page within our site and get to the product catalog, which is here. Some quick links are up at the top of the catalog, and the first one I think is cylinders. Yeah, cylinders and keying. And as we get through here, this is where, of course, all the cylinders and keying material is kept. If we were to do a find function on our keyboard for 60-34, we're going to find that. References to it. So the 60 is the prefix for disposable plastic core. That literally means that you're going to have in the cylinder you order this disposable plastic core. Okay, because it's 60, it's Sargent large format. When we get to the 34 part, that's going to be our rim cylinder. They can do different prefixes in a rim cylinder. Okay, 34 series rim cylinder. You can kind of see why it's intimidating, this catalog. 34 series rim cylinder. So it's a rim cylinder. Great, we've got it right here. Not a problem at all. When you add the 60 to the front of it, now Sargent says, okay, it's obviously large format because you want a large format disposable core. And therefore, the rest is, the rest is history, so to speak. So you've got the understanding of how to put that together based on that 60 prefix. And like I said, everything in Sargent runs as prefixes. Not everything, naturally, but major modifications to something that will change the hardware inherently is a 60 prefix. Okay. The rest of this catalog allows you to investigate yourself, investigate into, or insert yourself into the world of Sargent. They're showing you all of the different pieces and components that you're going to bump into. Cylinder collars are obviously here. This is the 97 rows that we have here. Information on construction keying, depth and spacing data is here, and it goes on and on and on because it is the cylinder and keying section of the catalog. So this is a rim cylinder, and it happens to be a large format interchangeable core. If you didn't need any of that, you'd order just a Sargent 34. You'd have to tell them how many pins, what keyway, what finish, what type of tailpiece if you had a need for a specialized tailpiece. And really what I mean by that is, do you need a longer than standard tailpiece? You might have to change the bar or the driver on the back of that, but all that's specified. But given the length of the standard tailpiece and the driver and the body of the cylinder itself, you'd be able to handle doors that are pretty thick right out of the box. If you have an obtusely thick door, let us know and we will work with you on that. Let's wrap up this video on camera. Now, in conclusion, I'm quite partial when it comes to Sargent, and it's not that I am most familiar with their product line, because I'm certainly not. And it's not that I sell the most Sargent compared to any other lock. It's because we don't. But what I'm always impressed with them is the ability of options that are available on everything. I think that's a result of how long they've been in business, and everyone else has been too. But they really, I think, are constantly evolving and making sure that their product line can handle the ever-evolving changes in the marketplace. When you contact their technical support, they know their product line really well. I've spoken to people over there who they may not know much about other things in life, meaning they know their Sargent really well. And it's when you're buying a flagship item like a Sargent, closer or exit device or lock set, obviously having that sort of technical support is necessary. If you have any questions on the Sargent 60-34 rim cylinder, this is in 32D. That scalp plate on the outside of the brass body, of course, available in other finishes as well, or any other Sargent product, please feel free to reach out to us. And thank you.